My name is Courtney Ward, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to successfully prepare for a job interview. So, as many of us know, a lot of us can feel intimidated or nervous, but with the help of careerservices.com, I have come up with a few tips to help prepare us. So, one of the first things you'd want to do is to research the organization so you can kind of know what they do, if they have a mission statement, how they were founded, what their main goal is for their company or their business. You don't want to go in blindsided, not knowing what they do, why they do it, etc. You're going to want to compare your skills and qualifications to the job that you are applying for. So if you're applying for an administrative position, you're going to obviously want to highlight your typing skills from your previous job, your filing skills, your ability to answer a multi-line phone, things like that. You also want to prepare ahead and dress appropriately. I feel like you should dress for the job that you want, not necessarily the job that you're applying for. So even if it's just for something kind of entry level, you can still just wear, for women, a nice blazer and dress pants. Men, suit, tie. You can't really overdress for an interview, but you definitely don't want to wear jeans. And that's from thebalance.com. That's another website that I use to gather some of these tips from. What you also can do is to prepare some responses, because a lot of times they're going to ask you questions like, what are some of your weaknesses? What are some of your strengths? What would you do in this kind of scenario? What would you do in this kind of scenario? And they explain like the worst possible scenario, and they ask what you would do. Then they ask you, just your advice on different types of scenarios. So I would already have in my mind ones that have already happened to me, so I wouldn't take a long time thinking about them when they asked you on the spot. Another thing is you can pay attention to the nonverbal communication, because you're going to know what they're thinking just by watching them, watching their hands, watching them nod their head like, okay, I understand. And you can kind of tell from the flow of the conversation if they're receptive to what you're saying, if they're not feeling it, and you can kind of guide it from there. And last but not least, what you'd want to do is to follow up. Maybe a follow-up email, a call, a card, a letter, whatever seems appropriate for the position, and just let them know thank you for taking the time out to interview you. You look forward to hearing back from them, if there is anything else that they need, and then maybe put your contact information so they can reach you. And so those are some of the main tips that I found informative and good to prepare for a job interview. Thank you.